Yo, slightly behind schedule. I'm trying to get everything moving. Get so much just all over the place right now. Just trying to get everything ready to go. Kick-ass study stream number, I don't know, 17? Are we at 17? I think 17. Awesome. Yo! You made it. Made it early this time, Jeremy. No, I think you made it early yesterday too. I'll try not to bust your balls so much this time. All right. Let me get this chat going. Give me 1 second. Oh, that's why. Okay. Hold on. Hey, Valerie, what's up? Good stuff. All right. Come on, chat, work. There we go. Cool. All right. Did a lot of writing today, so I wanted to have more prepared, ready to go. So last time we did a spaceship on iPad, because last week on Thursday I think we also did hard surface stuff through Scott Robertson. If you're familiar with that badass of an artist. He has a book out called How to Draw. I think it's just called How to Draw. Anyway, I'm going to jump over the computer desk instead of you looking at my face. I'm going to jump over there and we're going to do hard surface stuff. It's going to be fun. And yeah, if you know anybody that wants to see particularly hard surface stuff, because I know there's a bunch of people out there, I feel like it gets not developed, what's the word? It's not talked about as much as maybe figure drawing. So yeah, share this stream, share the link. It's really just youtube.com/c/Joe Catapano. But if you send it to whoever you have in mind, today's the day for hard service stuff. All right, switching over. Stand by. Cool. How dare you, Jeremy? How dare you? All right, so let me move this over down a little bit. I think that's about right. A little bit more this way. Something like that. It's cool. Awesome. Yeah, so we're doing like a little spaceship. This one like turned out to be like a little too Firefly-y. But we're gonna do another one. I'm gonna work on this one for a little bit longer and show you how to do some cutouts, and then we're gonna build up to this point like we did last time. Oh, you're calling my art pretty. Thanks. All right. Audience, what say you? Oh man. All right. Here we go. Okay, so using a ballpoint pen because it is really like a nice in between pencil and pen. especially for something like this. So let me show off his book first, and then we'll jump into this. This is his book, literally simply called How to Draw, and he goes through pretty much all the basics of perspective drawing. Like it's this is not drawing by sight. This is the exact opposite of what's that lady? Can't remember her name, but the book that's How to Draw with the Right Side of the Brain. I think that's how to use the right side of the brain. Can't remember what it's called. How to draw from the right side of the brain. Either way, this is drawing more analytically, more just with perspective from your imagination, which is very, very creative in its own right. So I took a lot of his skills and applied them, and it's pretty much this process here that we'll be doing, going from perspective grid to flat thing to making cut sections and then making into a spaceship, like so. So Andy McKee, bro, this one's for you. Turning on mute, that way I don't accidentally say Alexa. Alright, so I'll go through. Do you want me to, alright, let me know. I mean, I guess since you're new, Andrew, maybe you can let me know. Let me know if you want to see the techniques he shows in the book solo, like as studies. Like I can show you duplicating a square, multiplying squares, using ellipses, how ellipses work. So let me know if you want to see that. Otherwise, I'll jump right into doing the more difficult stuff and just work. Let me know. This song is good, Jeremy. That's funny. All right. No words? No words from anybody? I'll just warm up my drawing hand then and do some other little quick studies before I do this. Just gonna put this behind for a minute. All right. Yeah, Chrono Trigger, man. It's great. All right, so okay, so perspective. The main principle of perspective is vanishing point and a horizon line. So a vanishing point means that all things are converging to one dot in the distance on the horizon line, and by you having everything converge, it means a few different other rules apply. And converging means, like, if this was a building or a series of buildings, they'd be getting smaller in the distance, and I forget what that term is called. If you want to hear more about perspective, what was I going to say? Go to my I have a how to draw a grid video, Andrew, and that I explain it. I'm able to explain it farther. But here I'm just going to show some techniques of how to like manipulate perspective. And Valerie's saying VPs are at 90 degree from their pair going from stationary point. Yeah, they can be that. VPs can be very not almost mathematical. If you like that sort of thing, David Chelsea's book is good. But so here I'm just going to show if you have a square and you want to duplicate it in distance, you have to have at least one vanishing point, otherwise you wouldn't have a square. Wherever these two lines converge, that's your vanishing point, right? So to find the center of any square, you're going to draw an X between the points, and this is your middle point. And then you draw a line to the vanishing point from that line, and you'd find the middle on this point here. If you draw a line through from the back corner through the middle point, you're going to get where the next square would end. So you're pretty much mirroring over this line here. This would be the mirror line. And yeah, you'd get a line right wrong. And that would make your new square. So this is an equal distance, another square the equal size going into that convergence. Yeah, figures and setting in perspective also can do. But doing things like this is the first step that you need to do to really get a grasp on it. Anyway, so knowing that is one thing. And then a lot of what Scott Robertson shows is if this is a mirror line, which is really a plane, so I'm going to draw a dotted plane here. So imagine that there's a plane, another plane intersecting through these. That plane is the mirror plane that we're talking about. So this is one side here, and this is the other side. So let's just say you want to draw like a certain curve on one end, and you want to find that exact curve on the other end to make like a bell shape, because this is going to mirror on the other side. There's a few techniques you can do. One, you can use the X that you've already drawn. So from here to here, you find the point where that intersects, and then draw the same line like a V shape. You're finding the diagonal, and then you're drawing from this point to the vanishing point, and you're going to find the exact point where that would be on the other side. It's pretty simple. So wherever they intersect over here, you've just mirrored that point. You can still use the box method if you just want to make a smaller box here. Go to the vanishing point, and you can do the same thing. Like the middle point would be there, and then you can draw a line through again, and then you're going to find the starting point on this end. So there's your starting point. This one would go from this end over here. We'd need to find more points, but you just have to duplicate that process over and over, and you'd find the whole curve. That's not exactly right, obviously, but that's the idea. I just don't want to go into it too much. We're going to go to the actual real stuff. Yep, Valerie is right. So everything that's complex can be broken down, and that's how you should think about it. Alright, so here's a cool part of what we're about to do. Just like using new layers in Photoshop, you can add... I'm using cheap paper, so you can able to see through it, especially with pen. So I'm not sure if you can see through it, but I can see through it. Oops. Bring you back in here. All right. Oh my god, I can't keep changing the music. I'm going to leave this one on for a little bit longer, just a few of all the chrono stuff, and then we'll keep switching. But, okay, so here I drew this ship, right? And even underneath here, I'll even put this in. This is the shadow. I drew in the shadow, never colored it in. Oh, it's bleeding through. That's cool. So this is the shadow underneath this ship. Like that. That's your shadow. Oh, again, this chair sucks. Alright. So, this ship is kind of blocky. You can see it's like, this is the, whatever is behind here is all underdrawing. That's why I started copying over to a new sheet of paper, which I'll show you in a minute. However, I want to add like a fin here, or I want to add like a couple fins. So maybe to make it more interesting, let's extend this thing out on one side. So this is how we're going to do that and make it even. Or maybe let's just make a hump. Let's do that. Hump seems good. So what we're going to do is, this is the middle line. I'm going to go up from that middle line, maybe about there. And we're going to make pretty much this bell curve instead of making it flat. The flatness seems cool, but maybe we'll do like a curve, like a nice sharp but curved line. Maybe here. Let's try this. So we're going to go to this point and maybe make the box first. I always draw boxes in to help you find what you're looking for. Alright. So I'm just going to make up a curve. This is going to be the cross section of the ship. Just like that. And then to mirror this over, kind of like what we just did again, I'm going to use that technique right here. So you'll get to see it again. I mean, it's constantly, that technique's constantly being used. So the other side's over here. This is the square on the other side, mirror. And we're just going to find a couple points, pretty much. How's everybody's day going? That's another big question. My day's been hectic in like a very quiet way, but still very hectic. Alright, so we can tell this thing curves up a little bit. I'm not going to find that part of it, maybe a little farther back, but now it goes straight for a section. And now to find this exact point, we can do this technique we did before, this diagonal one. So it goes there, and then if we draw it up to this point and then draw it across, we know exactly where it is. It'll be right there. We can do that again here if you want. Draw a box this way, you can find the exact same one. Maybe one there. Draw it across, it's there. So you kind of see where the curve would be. Which is pretty close to what I have here. Alright, so that's your cross section. You see that? So now I'm going to have this thing like kind of gradually decrease to about here, maybe there, maybe here. Let's go here. I'm just picking an arbitrary spot and I'm just drawing a line to it. That way I can have a gradual curve there. So what we need is a middle plane. So I'm going to draw just a plane in the middle to here. So now I'm going to put dots in where that plane is. That's where your middle plane is. And now I want this to be a gradual curve. So I'm just going to make up a curve. It's going to be like this. And it gradually goes in. Let's see here. So what we can do is we can do like something like this, or we can do something bulbousy, which I'm going to go bulbousy, more like this. So now I need to mirror that curve on this plane, which is here. This plane goes from here to here. Try to make this visible for you guys without being too... I can't put too much pressure on the pen, otherwise it's going to get real muddy real quick. It already is, obviously. That's why I'm going to use a new sheet of paper in a minute. But I'm just trying to mirror this curve now over on that side, which is going to look very similar than what it is already there. So it's going to be, without even me, I can kind of guess it. Like with this line here, you can kind of mirror this one over if you wanted. Let's try it. You can do it from here. Didn't we hear the song already, or is this another variation, I think? Must be another variation. So, we know it hits this point. Here, it's like hitting like right there. So, it's just going to widen out to that point. It's pretty close. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, this stuff is real fun. I really enjoy doing these. It's almost like doing chess in an art way. I don't know, something like that. It's almost like you remembering all these points and how many moves ahead and back you are. Super weird to think of it that way, but it's kind of how I feel. So what we could do is put a little thruster on this thing. Maybe if there's a ellipse here. Let me explain ellipses to you guys, if you haven't, let's see, if they haven't showed you that already somewhere. I'm gonna go to this. Oh, here's an example of me doing the curve. I practiced it here. Yeah, it's pretty explanatory here. You can see me mirroring the curve onto this other plane. If this was the middle plane, I mirrored it over. Alright, so I was going to explain ellipses real quick. Ellipses have a minor and major axis. So the best way to explain it is, let's draw a cube, just like we did. Actually, there's one right here. This is a plane. The long side is the major, the short side is the minor. And that's just the way you identify them. But you draw a square for any ellipse, and it's going to give you exactly what you need. So this direction is your major, and your minor is going to be the direction that goes through the plane. So let's draw the center point of this plane. Right, so now you're the line coming out of the, like if I can draw this 3D like that, if that's an arrow, it's a weird looking arrow, but if that's the line coming out through it, this is the major axis. And this major axis pretty much divides your ellipse. So let's just say you draw an ellipse right here. The minor axis is the one that divides the two. So if you fold this thing in half, it should fold in half exactly like evenly. So it looks like it would be good. I just drew it a little too long. But yeah, if this would close, then you drew the minor axis correctly. So, oh, thanks, Jeremy. That's super sweet of you. I take back what I said about you quitting SCAD. You did it for good reason. Oh yeah, that's how it goes. Well, I'll show you when we switch over to the new piece of paper. I can't wait till we get to that point. But yeah, so ellipses are like this, right? So the way I'm going to draw this is this line, this minor axis here, has to, which really, I think the vanishing point's this way, so I think maybe it'd be like this. Maybe I got that wrong. That seems more correct, right? Maybe I'm freaking myself out. Hold on. Da, da, da. Okay, it's because I don't have another, like, if that's your center and you want to draw an ellipse in this one, say, it could be that way. It could be this way. If it's like that, the ellipse would divide this way. It's just because that was so almost very square, it kind of freaked me out. So ellipse through it that way. It also could go the other way, where the plane is this way, could be facing this way, and it could tilt that way. And you finding that axis is going to make a big difference on what you're drawing. I'm not going to explain it anymore. Yeah, I'm definitely right the second time. So let's go back to here. I'm about to draw an ellipse in this thing. So practically speaking, here, let's put in here and here. So that's my box. My main minor axis is going through, following this vanishing point, going up here. So now my ellipse gets drawn like this. And you're not even going to see that one, but the one you extrude this one out, that's the one you'll see if you do it this way. Or did I lost my minor axis somehow. Good. I didn't draw the box. This is what happens when you don't draw the box. At least for me, when I'm not using a guide and I don't draw the box. Good. Draw the box. Always draw the box. Alright. That's better. Alright. So that could be a thruster if you kind of like angle something down. That's all I wanted out of it. Is this could come down and connect in like a mergey kind of way. And then all that rest you wouldn't see. Okay. So I was starting to transfer it with like a light box method. Yes, you're right. It's like multiple squares will have the same effect on ellipses. Yes, true. Like the best way to practice ellipses is like draw a cube, since you'll have every direction. Yeah, Joe sketching going on. Draw the box. Always draw the box. The damn box. All right, so I'm just cleaning up this drawing. I could start a new one, but I feel like the new one, it just is a real tedious job. So if I start with this one, then I can start manipulating what I had. I started reading stuff, Valerie, by the way. I started reading your blog. Those posts are insanely long. But from what I've got, you talk a lot about Star Wars novels, which is kind of not my thing, so I don't really, it's hard to get a lot of the, you know, the, I guess, jargon, or I don't know what the word would be. Either way, they're cool. And I like them. And also, I like how you start. I jumped into the structure one, or not structure, the middle one. What's the second one? that one seemed the most applicable to what I wanted to see. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of world building. So it reminded me a lot of the teachings in I don't know if you're familiar with Brian McDonald or not, but every writer should be. I'm sure you might have heard of him. He's a screenwriting kind of teacher. He's like taught Pixar, he's taught a lot of people. I'm sure you've heard of him. But he's got a book called, he's got several books, but I've got all his books. 2 books that are a must read are Invisible Ink, and it's pretty much what you're talking about with the underlying themes of things. You know, the invisible ink, the invisible story that makes up the story without being there. And then he's got one called The Golden Theme, which is super interesting, super short, but super interesting. So I highly suggest reading them. That's what I base all stories on, is this guy's stuff. He's actually got a few YouTube videos if you look him up. He's this kind of chubby black guy. Just if you're trying to... Because there's other Brian McDonalds out there. I think there's a baseball player, and I think there's another couple, actually. So it's a common name. But yeah, he's giving lectures and that sort of thing. I'm going to try to get this outside shape. I don't think I ever mirrored that one. Might have to redraw it. Oh, hey, what's up? Dragon's back. Okay. Alright. Oh, I forgot about the curve before I do anything. Let's find the curve in here. Put the dots in for the curve. And then I can work around it. We're doing, back to hard surface stuff. We're doing detailed, like hard surface perspective drawing for vehicles and stuff. This one's like a spaceship that it got muddy, so I'm going to be putting this on another piece of paper. That's what I'm doing now. Yeah. It's Elon, bro. Elon's my man. He's everyone's man. He's sacrificing for everyone. Alright, it might be time to change the music. It's getting a little dreary in here. Sorry, Chrono. It's not today, buddy. Not today. Let's do... Let's see here. New myths. How about that? We'll put it on in a minute. I put on something else. Put on some, it's a band called Mercury Program, which I'm a super fan of. But yeah, Ocarina sounds good. There's actually, I'll put on some Super Guitar Bros, because those guys, they did a whole Ocarina of Time album on guitar that's pretty amazing. Can't see these lines very well at all. Probably could have filled it in a little bit better here. Let's see. Really can't see this mark. So damn. Trying to see. There we go. Might be too wide on that line. Just couldn't see it very well. It's pretty close. A little too wide though. Alright. Yeah, this is a black table. You could, but I'm not going to get much. What I could use is my iPad. Didn't think about that. Let's do that, guys. Let's see. Let's use my iPad. Thought I had one. Do no, let's make a new one. Let's try this out. See a little bit better. Turn up the brightness here. Yeah, I definitely see it a little better. Problem is it's starting to type. It would work, but try it this way. Ah, no! Lost my stuff. I'm just gonna have to keep chugging on. You can, and there's even a app for a light box, but I'm just going to do my best here. It feels better. If I flip back and forth, you can kind of get a good idea for things. I can see it. I know you guys can't see it very well, but I can see it probably better than what you think. I just double check because I like to make the lines as good as they can be. At one point I did build my own light box and it failed miserably. So next time I do it, I'm going to buy a light pad and just go with it. Alright. So here the cool stuff is, once we have this stuff in here, we can start making connections and adding things. Yeah, windows are great. That's really how I only do it today, is windows, but it's nighttime where I am at. Alright. Let's just do some fun things with the sides of this thing. I'm going to go back to this and work on it. I'm going to put like a cutout here just to make it more interesting. I'm going to cut from here to like here and go up to like here, maybe here. Let's see. Alright, that works. Let's cut it to this. So now this will be gone over here. But now I have a gauge for what to make it. Let's see here. Yeah, I got you. All right. So that could be a cutout. Alright. I like the shape of a lot of this, but some of it is a little wonky, obviously. I did this on the fly. Let's see here. Yes, light Bixes are very useful. Smite box. Bixes, bro. That's what it's all about. Yoo-hoo, Bixes. Everybody knows what a Bix is. Alright, I'm going to try to make a better thruster here than what I did here. Let's do something more like this. Alright. Let's do the tail, finish up the tail here. Alright. I drew some cool stuff that was behind this thing. It's a bummer that you can't see it, really. That's what happens. I drew it for, when you're doing kind of industrial design stuff, you're drawing from multiple angles, for it to actually not work, but you're thinking about all the angles. So sometimes you just don't get to see them all in one shot, and I don't have time to do every shot. This is just practice to like visualize, to see things in space. Art is all about mileage. If you don't do enough of it, your stuff can look, you can know as much as you want, but like knowing things and drawing well is are not the same thing, for sure. Definitely felt that before. Let's do that. Maybe we can put some pipes in here instead. Call that an object. Not pipes, but connections. Okay. We have this opportunity here to make paneling if you want. Or really do whatever you want with it. Dude, I just thought about that too. It's getting very Bob Rossi in here. Sometimes that's what it takes. Or Bob Ross to bring the life to the party. This is like the second time he brought up Bob Ross. I think it's inevitable when you're doing a art stream. He's the original. Alright. Not much else. These are all the basics here. And overall the ship is kind of, I'm going to say boring, but it's doing kind of what I wanted to do. I mean, originally. I don't know about how it's doing it now, but now it's just like creative. Let's just see what we can do to make this thing look cool. Any ideas? Let me know. So, made a line. Do a cut in here and drop this thing down maybe. Not going to be super aerodynamic now. If we do that. Alright, so we're going to cross over and make this cutout happen. Gonna be over on that side and then this side here. Okay. Be somewhere over there. I can't really see. without putting in lines. So, whatever. Let's put in some lines. Oh yeah, for sure. Let's see. Seems about right. Maybe right about there. Here, curve. All right. All right. So we'll cut out. That's hilarious. Yeah, man. Maybe it's in my brain. Always. Good to see you, Ken. Was just about to play some Ocarina of Time, Ken. This album's almost over, so I don't know if I like that sharp line. Totally fix it though if you want. I think here we could put in some thrusters. Let me do it on the back side here. Put it on this. I'm gonna go the same direction as this. So here, let's draw out a thruster a little bit. I don't know how far we're gonna put it out. Maybe out like this. Something like that, maybe. got a kind of a cool shape there, I like. So let's do it. I'm gonna darken in this. Cool. Again. Alright, so we found the spot. Didn't want to put too many marks here. And then one down here. It's a little curvy, but the more I touch it, the more it's going to be bad. Not as curvy as I'd like. I think that on the underside it'd be a little different shape, but let's give it some contour. Yeah, man, pretty much. I just like how it contrasted up here. I wanted it a little bit more sharp. Maybe if we do something like that, it might help. I like the shapes here, the contrasting of like kind of soft versus hard shapes up here, which is cool. And then over here we can do some more of this. Okay. Maybe we can do some other like little shape up here. I kind of like over in a ring. I can visualize it a little bit, so I'm just going for it. And then maybe the ring comes out and down. Kind of like that. I always like putting circles on spaceships. Always gives it like a better feel. That's what I had. I didn't like this, the main hole space, which is cool and not cool at the same time, because it's just a weird shape. That's what I'm trying to break up. I'm just trying to break up this big space. Oops. Sorry. There we go. All right. It's funny. Ocarina of Time, man. Ocarina, if you want to pronounce it probably the proper way. All right. Yeah, I think so. I believe you're right. I still don't like it's on kind of like it's flat on one side can be flat, but not every side. So I think this top piece needs to be cut and formed in different ways. But I think you're right. I think maybe something up here might help. Maybe something like that. All right, I'm gonna go to this one and do it on this one. That I can play around a little bit. Let's do. Let's do the nose first. So middle line. Let's go out to here. There's the middle plane. Let's see. Maybe something down on this plane. And then curve this way, maybe. Alright, good opportunity to practice mirroring here. Alright. There's the other line. Everything's based off of. Let's see here. Just drawing a section. I'm really just guessing at it. Same thing with this other side. It's so short and narrow that can't be too far off. And then maybe this piece comes over in front like that. Looks kind of like insecty. Is there some kind of planar perspective strategy of having the... well, this whole thing is like a planar drawing, right? So, but yeah, Valerie's right. It's only an afterthought to show you it's like one, what it looks like it landed, and two, to give you like a pretty much to give you a realism to the object. Yeah, you believe things much more quickly if they resemble realism, you know. I think that's pretty obvious. I don't know how much I want to go into this front end. Maybe cut here. Almost looks like a turret now. Like a funky looking turret. Not sure. Maybe there's something totally different I can do. No, but like I have a perspective grid on here, you know, not a grid, but like I know my points and I know how to manipulate the volumes in space, so I'm kind of just guessing at some of it instead of really plotting points. Let's see. Let's fool around with something like this. I want to cut a shape from here, but then extrude up with it. And if you're from 3D modeling, you're familiar with the term extrude, I'm sure. So let's extrude up. I'm not going to make it super blocky, but I'm actually going to have it float. Let's go here. Here, here. Perfect. And now this is going to a different vanishing point, really, but we can mirror it and figure it out a different way. For now, we're just guessing. So we know where this would be. That lines up, it's correct. Alright, so oh, thanks, man. Maybe I'll add some form of that, but I want to do this part here. So I'm gonna pretty much move this over, and the way I do that is to give everything the same kind of slant. And a lot of this I'm guessing at perspective, but it's not too difficult, because I know some of the perspective lines are staying the same. So just bear with me. So we know this line stays the same. Like this perspective line should align pretty well with things. Let's see. Trying to figure out where I put it. I was over here somewhere. So it should be more like that, yeah. So from there over to here. Alright. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. This song is addicting. Probably need to turn it off before it's stuck in my head. Alright, so I have this like plane looking thing here, which I'm just going to have floating above, but I'm going to connect it somehow. Not sure how yet. Thinking about it. Alright. Kind of just like the idea of a floating plane above it. Kind of like... Yeah, I'm all about stuff like that. The cascading thing in the front, you mean? This thing I just want to be a plane for some reason. I just want to have a... I think floating planes and floating things are super sci-fi. I like that, but this has to be super sound, so I'm gonna clean up some lines. All right, let's see. All right, let's try. So a little hard to see. All right. Cool. Can't see it at all. I will, but I'm not going to do it just yet. Definitely going to. I just wanted to see what it looked like over here and make sure I like know what I'm actually getting myself into. See here, I do want this to be the silhouette now. And I'm just kind of inventing on the back side here, which I can do again over here. We'll mirror it over. Not too tough. Alright. Okay, mirroring a plane across that far. Let's do it. For this one, I'm going to use a ruler because kind of need to be precise. Let's use this. Down, find the middle, which is here. I'm going to mirror this over on this end, which we pretty much know where it is. It's the cool about using these guidelines, because you already have kind of an idea of where everything is the more you draw. Thinking it's right here. And then we go up. Just following that line almost. Except my perspective's a little off for that line. So what we're gonna have to do is this. Redraw. And then find it again. Alright, here. So, looking at right there to find the next spot here. Be easier if I just did it on the same plane than at this point. Because that goes straight back and then hits here. So there's our first section. Yeah, I typically, well with this, I usually don't white box, unless I'm doing like something like this kind of design stuff. It's concepting, you know, it's not like a finished illustration, so I don't mind like just page flipping, you know. But Valerie's also right about it being kind of whatever my lazy arms can reach is all. So plane here, this goes down, and now I can find this next one. Middle plane. All right. This is just to find the next spot. It's way back here. Oh, what am I doing? I need to find the middle spot here. Hopefully this is close to correct because I'm ad-libbing a lot. And then this goes down this way. So, do this. You'll find the next point. Seems like it's ridiculously far away. From here to here, right? Or not? Let me see. From there to there, yeah. That doesn't make sense. Let me see. Oh, from there to there. What am I doing? I'm here. Does that seem right? I think it does. So it looks like it's going to cover up our thruster if we do it. What up, Antoine? No, doing a spaceship, dude. This is the messy version that you're looking at here. But yeah, shouldn't be too tough from here, from this point, to mirror this plane. Alright. Middle plane is here. It should be... Oh. All the way over there. Alright. And then these connect. Let's ruler that. Looks like it's off because I didn't double check it from here. Yo, Todd, what up? So I should have double checked it here. So it looks like it goes from here. That seems right. So it's floating this way. Just seems a little bit too far out. I think that is more acceptable. And that's more acceptable. Okay. Alright, so cool, man. We're just building a spaceship through perspective drawing. So pretty much mirroring this plane onto the other side is what we're doing right now. I drew this like floating plane that's kind of a part of the ship. I don't know what else I'm going to do to it, but anyway, I drew it underneath. And now we got to find it. I thought you'd be there. Okay. Problem is it's going to cover up a lot of what I have already. So this is what I was afraid of. I don't want to light box again or flip page flip a million times. So let me just find my points. Shouldn't be too tough. They're here. And then I dropped it to... Can't see it all. It's here somewhere. Hopefully it's not right on the tip of that. That would suck. It's almost to the right of the tip. Alright, cool. Listen to some Zelda music. Alright. Good. Something, I mixed up dots I think here. I think this one should be out here. Bummer. That's what happens. Pretty sure that's where the plane would be. Except it's covering up my whole drawing. However, we're going to move on. Actually, maybe I'll do that front piece. That we know won't cover up anything. Oh my god. Alright, let me see here. I don't know what to really do. Let's just do that. Salad bar is open. Or a tail rudder. It's funny. Yeah, that back pin's cool. I like this piece too that goes with it as well. I didn't put in this. We probably should mirror that over. Because I already kind of have it drawn. Give me 1 second. Alright. That looks about right. That just recedes in space to here. Probably can take it from here and over. Same with that. Like something like that. I know, that'd be cool. Oh, man. See, the more marks you make, the harder it is to page flip. For sure. That's my problem right now. 1 second. Oh. I literally just marked it freehand in the air. So, straight line practice. And here. That was a little off. What time we at, guys? Somewhere around 9:15, maybe? Alright. Cool. I'm just putting in some details, that way you see that it's a cutout. No, that's super boxy now, whatever. I think next week we'll do something like a vehicle everybody knows, you know. We'll try to do like a car, or maybe we'll do like a plane that seems legit, or maybe like a TIE fighter or something. That'd be cool. Yeah, and Anthony, play some music, damn it. All right. Let's dirty this thing up a little bit. Add some appeal. Wish I mirrored that over. That'd be cool. Would have been cool. Bat plane from Batman Beyond is cool, except I think it's super simplistic because it's futuristic. I don't know. Any of them I'm down for. Obviously, the first week I did a motorcycle on stream. Oh, okay. Well, I could do a number of different things. I'm gonna research. Maybe we'll take a vote. Maybe we'll take a vote before the stream ends what to do next week. All right. Don't bub me out here, Zelda. I want to think about what I'm on. Oh, Jesus. That opens up pretty loud. Right. Let's see here. Could do something like this. Yeah, this tail is pretty tight, not gonna lie. Let's try to do a turret under here that looks decent. How about that? You can just do it that way. Oh, bless me. Bless me, y'all. Alright. Dude, you guys are like going deep in Savannah. Going deep. Deep in the chat tonight. There's no way I can keep up with that right now. Alright. I'm gonna do this here. Interesting piece here. Seems like it's off balance now, but interesting piece. Just ad-libbing for this viewpoint. Go that way or down? Wanted this thing to turn out a little cooler than this. I think my design brain. My design brain is always dead by this time.
It's taught by a software engineer.
Cool. Let's see. Just making guess marks now, which is cool. Just also fun. Interesting, weird turret. Just wanted to have some interesting shapes with it, but what can you do? Alright. Need a new ground plane now. Trying to just give this thing a dead contour on the shadow side. Okay, we're gonna give it a... I may be touching the ground actually. I might have to give it a larger kickstand. Yeah, I think this thing would be touching the ground, so we're gonna have to elaborate on how far this thing goes down. I'm just gonna extend this thing. Try to make it look natural as possible. Yeah, it looks like it almost be like a drone or something, right? Not sure, but let's draw down here. This is the midplane now, and for less marks, I'm going to use a ruler as well. Touch of God. What? This is the Battle Tracer soundtrack, by the way. Alright. So from there I can kind of figure out where things are. Because this would be in the middle as well. So that doesn't give much room, but... trying to see how wide I had this thing. So at least to here. Touch of Joe. Looks like a finger to me. In a good way, Joe. Oh yeah, it kind of does. Oh snap, look at that. Ken's making jokes. Joke master. The joke champion. And the rest I can kind of slide on. Yeah, Momente. Something like this. Stop with the ads, man. Cold brew commercial? Come on. This conversation's hilarious. Trying to find the last mark I made here. What I forgot about is this piece here. Yeah, I know. I just have to get up to do that, dude. And there's only 3 minutes left, or 4 minutes? What's left? How many minutes are left? 8 minutes. Only 8 minutes left, bro. Cool. Go back here and put in this. Foods Rhoda. What? Is that a Skyrim thing? I'm assuming. Maybe a little bit off on that one. I can see. Whatever. This time I'm going to shade it with my pen. Do you know what's you sound you make when dude, I wish I'd figured that out. I should have started with that. Should have started with what it would sound like. Because now, at a loss. I don't know. Maybe a fart? I don't know what it sounds like. Dude, yeah, any Hans Zimmer, bro. You missed the first couple streams. I was on it like hotcakes. You guys want a pro tip? Spacing is everything when using rendering lines. Should be a Joe tip, rather. Joe Pro tip. I'm not doing a good job at it right now. It's all good. Yeah, go back and watch the back issues. This is what, number 17 or something? Alright, that's enough with the ads, bro.
The education and success that I attribute to both my hard work and absolutely the tremendous efforts of the instructors.
Joe tip?
Absolutely.
You're right. Oh, this is the boss music. I like it because it's like intense but chill. Gives you like this kind of odd sense that you need to do something, but you can sit through all the menus and everything. Alright. I'm regretting these lines. Promise we'll play more Skyrim at some point, but I'm more partial Hans Zimmer actually because I never really got into Skyrim. Oh, regretting the lines? Oh, just because it's tedious, and you can do it way quicker if I just use a marker for shading. I'm starting to get wider too. I need to stop that. I just need to like draw more through. Messing up my lines. So whatever I did here, this is example what not to do when rendering well. Ain't bad for government work for sure. I'm gonna put in some more line weights. This thing would probably have a shadow. Faux show. Down like this. So time, 10 o'clock. Time flies. This is what? This is number 16. Somebody tell me if this is number 16. But it's the Kick-Ass Study Stream number, I think, 16 or 17. I'll write it after. I'm not sure. All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. I think the more we do these hard service ones, the more streamlined my process will get for sure. And maybe 17. Thank you. So the more we actually do this sort of thing, the more streamlined the process will get. But thanks everybody. I'll maybe eventually these like sketches I do on paper will give them out to people maybe if they want them. Cool. Have a good night. Tomorrow's storytelling. So Valerie, I'd be excited. It's my favorite day. It's all just comic storytelling, working on the script. So see you guys then. I'll have my beer. I think I got some Lagunitas. I'll see you then.